In this video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process that you can use to start selling $10,000 offers with only 500 followers. I'm going to show you the exact proof, process, and breakdown of literally everything that you need to know to be able to do this for yourself. So first of all, here's the thing that's keeping you stuck. Most people think that a big follower count equals big money. Now, while that might be true for Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, and whoever other Kardashians exist on this planet Earth, it's not necessarily true for you. In reality, a few of my clients, Carson, went from $0 to $58,000 in 90 days with just 600 followers. My client, Sue, literally texted me last night and she generated over $16.5 thousand with just 1K followers. And my client, Vadim, who has a thick Ukrainian accent, is a babyface guy, but an incredible gangster, love him to bits, has generated over $30,000 in 30 days with only 1K followers. It's not about the audience size, it's about selling the right offer with the right positioning and using a conversion optimized profile. And I'm here to destroy any ounce of belief that you have by the end of this video that a big follower count equals big money. So here is exactly how you can do the same. Number one, clarify your goddamn offer. No one pays 10K for a random coaching or content system. For example, selling time for tasks. I'll post 20 reels a month. 10K offers only sell when the outcome is extremely clear. And here is exactly how to make your outcome crystal clear. Number one, sell a high value transformation that solves a very painful problem. For example, you want to ask yourself these 5 questions. Who do my clients want to become in 90 days? If you had 2 fitness coaches side by side that said, I'm going to give you 12 sessions where I'm going to train you every single day, or option 2, I'm going to work with you and transform you after 90 days to a man that walks into a room who is so confident he can speak to any girl that he wants. He's so fit, he can get modeling shoots worth $30,000 to $50,000 a year just through this one investment that you're going to be making. Who would you rather work with? Of course, option 2, because option 2 is selling you a transformation on who you're going to become by the end of the process. And for human psychology in sales, identity is far more important than commodity. It's very important for you to understand. Number 2, what problems do they want solved? Most people create an offer based on what they think the market needs versus the actual problems that the marketplace has. Most people sit there and think, if I edit 30 videos for someone in 30 days, that sounds like a great offer. But that's crap. Most people's biggest pain point is sales. I will create 10 videos for you that will convert and land $10,000 clients for you in the next 30 days. Which one would you want? Would you want the 30 videos or would you want the 10 videos that actually land you $10,000 clients based on the problem that you have? Number 2, of course, same thing. And then finally, what measurable result can I give them? People are tangibly investing a certain sum of money to receive a certain sum of money back. It's just how human psychology works. When you go into a grocery store and you spend $5 on a chicken breast, you spend $5 on chicken breast, you are getting rid of that $5 because you believe that chicken breast is more valuable to your nutrition and your health than the $5 that you have in your pocket. Your clients are no different. And then finally, what makes your process unique? And this is by far the number one thing that most people screw up. They see someone else selling something, they decide, oh, that person's doing well, their offer sounds good, let me just copy exactly what they're doing. And then they wonder why they get no clients because they're exactly the same. And nobody wants to buy from someone that's the same. Someone wants to buy from you because you're unique and you offer something that's different. For example, if I had 5 coffee shops all next to each other that all sell the same coffee for the same price point, I don't really care which one I go to. They're all the same. But if one of them gives me a free cookie with every purchase of coffee, I'm going to consider going to that one. Your clients are no different. So here's a few dumbed down examples. Number 1, done for you videos. It's a very crappy example that a lot of people offer in the marketplace, believe it or not. What you want to build instead is build a personal brand that attracts $5,000 clients in 90 days. It's clear, it's concise, it solves a pain point. Could it be a little bit better? Of course, but it's much better than the first example that I broke down. So I hope that makes sense. Number 1 is clarify your offer. This is the very first thing I do with my clients way before we ever help them get traffic. Because what is the point of going out there and getting a bunch of traffic if your offer is so crap that they're never going to convert? It makes no sense. Number 2 is you want to optimize your funnel, i.e. the Instagram funnel. Most people still treat their Instagram like it's a freaking social media account and wonder why they're broke every single month or they have inconsistent sales. Your profile, simply put, is a sales page. If you haven't realized that by now, you are 5 years behind, my friend. So your bio, you want to make it crystal clear with what you help people with, plus who you help. Make it outcome focused. Don't just throw a bunch of vague buzzwords out there. My bio is very specific. It's helping agency owners and digital marketers and coaches scale to $50,000 to $100,000 a month without paid ads. Then you have your 3-pin post, because think of someone's visual perception the second they land on your profile. profile, you have about 60 to 90 seconds to hook that person or they're going to leave. So your bio is like, all right, cool. Well, this is what this person does. He's made a statement that he can help me. And their brain automatically wants to find the lies in what you offer, because it's how human brains are wired from like the primal age. Years and years and years ago, when we were living in the caveman times, we would look at a piece of fruit and think, oh, you know what? It might be poisonous. Let's be wary of it. That same negative belief that has been built in us for survival is still present in humans today. So the most important thing you want to realize is the second thing is your 3-pin post. And the reason I crack on about these in almost every single YouTube video I've ever made is because people ask themselves 3 questions. Who the hell is this person? Do they have results? How do I know they can actually deliver on these results? Do I trust them? 3 to 4 things. So number 1, your unique method is the how behind your process. How do you do this thing differently? For example, there's hundreds of fitness coaches online. One is promising fat loss, one is promising like muscle building, etc., etc. A better example would be, here's my unique fat loss method that can help you get shredded in 12 weeks without cutting carbs while still eating pizza and still drinking tequila. Now that's a unique method. It ticks all the boxes of what I want to be able to do, and it sounds different compared to everybody else. Number 2 is client proof. This is by far the highest converting asset that you could possibly be using in your business. You're not the best when you say you're the best. You're the best when other people say that you're the best. So one of the second videos that I pin on my profile and I get every one of my clients to pin is a bunch of client testimonials saying, Mehdi is the best. Because that builds undeniable proof and answers the second question. How do I trust that you can actually deliver on the outcome? Because you've delivered on it before. And here's proof. And number 3 is your story. Remember, people don't buy the coaching program. People buy the coach, right? People don't buy the agency services. Everyone and their dad can run Facebook ads in 2025, right? Everyone can edit short form content. There's guys in India and Pakistan that can edit content and do it for very, very dirt cheap. People buy the agency owner. And these are things that you want to keep in the forefront of your mind, right? And that's why showcasing your story is very important. How you went from X to Y without X pain, right? Which is exactly what your audience wants to achieve, a pain that they want to avoid, and a desired outcome that they would love to achieve, okay? Next up, you have your story highlights. Now, my story highlights consist of a few different things. My wins, my own personal wins, because again, I want to answer the question that I am someone that's very, very credible. I know what I'm doing. If I talk a bunch of shit, I have results to back it up. Next, client wins. Showcase client success stories. If you go over to my Instagram right now and flick through my client results, it's going to take you a pretty damn long time because there's a crap load of it. And I upload new ones to that more or less every single day, which is exactly what you should be doing if you want to build and nurture a crap load of trust. And finally, you could have a start here, but there's better ways to do that, which I'll show you in a sec. So optimizing your Instagram funnel answers the 3 biggest questions before the DM process even starts. Can you get results? Do you have proof? And can I trust you? And remember, if you do this part correctly, it's going to have a knock-on effect to everything. I can send a cold DM today and I will have a far higher response rate. Currently, my sellers are sending out cold DMs and my response rate is over 67%, which is very, very high for cold DM. And one of the biggest reasons as to why is because every time somebody receives a cold DM from you, the first thing they do is take a look at your profile. And then they decide, well, is this person worth responding to or not? And your profile, if built out correctly in the exact format that I'm showing you, is either going to make them want to reply to you or ignore you and ghost you. So the choice is yours. Number 3 is you want to create high leverage content. Even if you have 500 followers, it doesn't matter. 500 people is a lot of people. To really put this into perspective for you, one of the things that I always tell my clients is when you have a one-on-one sales call with one person and that one person tells you that they're thinking about maybe investing $5,000 with you and they don't do it, it pisses you off. But you get pissed off about one person. That's one person on a sales call. Imagine 500 people, like constantly doing a sales call with 500 people a day. Are you telling me that at least 5 to 10 of them won't convert? And out of those that will convert, that you won't get client testimonials from them, that you won't be able to repurpose those client testimonials for future results. Anyways, going off on a tangent, the most important thing that you need to know, 500 people is still a lot of people. The main purpose behind your content, and this is how I build every single piece of content that I ever post, is your content needs to pre-sell. Screw going viral. You're not Devin Jatho. Devin Jatho is a good friend of mine. Shout out him. He's the king of going viral, right? But what your content should be doing is breaking limiting beliefs. So for example, if your clients believe, well, I have to post content every day to get clients, which is some of my clients believe, a content example that you can post is I didn't post for 12 days and still close 3 clients because I have a story funnel and a closer. Content is in the system, it just fuels it. So you are breaking a limiting belief. One exercise that I want you to do is pause this video right now, okay? By far, this is going to be one of the most valuable exercises that you ever do in your entire life for your marketing, and write down the 10 biggest limiting beliefs that someone has that would hold them back from buying your offer or your service. So an example, if you are an online fitness coach, one of your clients might believe, well, online coaching doesn't work. Now, in your content, if you can break that belief, they're going to show up to a sales call more ready to purchase. If you can get clear on what all these beliefs are for your audience, then your marketing will finally destroy the same objections that make people hesitate from wanting to book in a call and buy from you. Another one, right? Once you have limiting beliefs, you can handle objection. So an example of an objection that you might get is, why shouldn't I just figure this out myself? Now, because you understand that that's your ICP's objection, the content example that you might want to create is because 99% of people, we're in an age where everyone has access to the same info, but implementation and speed is what they pay for and what actually gets results. You're devaluing the importance of just having information, and you're building the value into your audience that they need implementation. When you remove the belief that holds them back and instill the new belief, they show up to the call ready to purchase. You're welcome. And next, last but not least, you have building trust through authority and authenticity. So an example of authority content is, this system helped my client make $58,000 in 90 days with 600 followers. Here's the exact funnel that we set up for him. So you can insert a little screenshot, breakdown, and proof. And these are the three content buckets that you ideally want to boil it down to. Proof, client wins, your wins, process, your frameworks, just explain as easily for a 5-year-old to understand. And then personality, stories, lifestyles, values. I constantly post a lot of funny shit on my Instagram. If you haven't checked it out, follow me on Instagram, link in the description. But the point of the matter is, I don't just want to be like business, right? It's fun, and I have a lot of cool business knowledge to share with you guys, but people buy the coach, right? Oftentimes I'll do a post where it's like, hey, I just flew my parents out and sent them on vacation here. And that relates to my ideal clients who are 20 to 30 years old, want to be able to fly out their parents, want to pay back their parents, and they respect that. So they look at me through my Instagram stories and say, you know what, Mehdi's the type of coach I want to work with. And as a result, it attracts more of my dream clients to me. So that's content explained. Now you know you need to clarify the offer, you need to optimize your Instagram funnel and create high leverage content. Last but not least, you need to create a very high converting VSL, okay? This is by far one of the most powerful conversion tools and assets that you're gonna use. Put it simply, your VSL should do this: who you help, what your unique process is, why it works, what they should do next. Very simply, so many people overcomplicate their VSLs, right? And they start with these wild, like Charlie Morgan type guarantees. It works for Charlie Morgan because the guy has generated over $30 million in the space. It's probably not gonna work for you. So you need to try a different approach. So here's the deal, right? The reason that you need a VSL, for the love of God, if you don't have one already, is you stop repeating yourself in the DMs and on sales calls. You've already answered like the main questions. You filter out a bunch of time wasters. You warm up cold leads before they ever speak to you, and it makes you look like an expert even with a small audience. I remember when we created Carson's sales video, aka VSL, we pretty much hit from the angle where we turned his biggest disadvantage, which was the fact that he only had 500 followers, yet he had a content agency where he was offering to help other people go viral. And we pretty much turned it into positioning him as the industry's best kept secret. That messaging in his VSL made people ignore the fact that he only has 500 followers and said, well, if he's the industry's best kept secret, he must have something valuable that he could probably share with me. As a result, Carson has landed a crap load of clients. If you check out his profile now, he has over 70,000 followers, which is insane. So an example, my personal VSL method is hook. If you're watching this video, chances are you're someone that is X, struggling with X, and you've tried X, but none of that's worked for you. Authority story. The reason I know this is because I'm Mehdi, I've struggled with X, I tried X, Y, Z, and none of that worked. Until, and then step 3 of your VSL is old method versus new method. The reason I was stuck is I was using this old method, which completely sucked, and it caused me to experience X pain, Y pain, Z pain, and I understand that's probably what you're going through right now. All of that stopped when I finally discovered this new method. After hours of research, thousands of dollars spent, I discovered this new method, and after using this new method, then you shift over to proof. After using this new method, I was able to generate 5 clients, ride a donkey, get extremely rich in the process, travel the world, right? It's a proof that your system pays off. And then you have a hard call to action. If you want me to help you achieve the same X result without X pain in X time, you can book in a call below. This isn't for everyone. Fill in the application form, and as a result, now you have qualified sales calls that are ready to convert. It's so freaking easy. Like, if you struggle to scale to 20 to 50K months, it's so fucking easy. You just need to implement everything I'm telling you right now. And I enjoy creating these YouTube videos purely because it's fun, and yeah, it feels like I'm clowning like an old version of myself. But anyways, last but not least, the most important step that you're going to use is selling through stories, call to actions. So what I typically do, Instagram stories, you want to look at differently, okay? Because when you start to look at things differently, you're going to start to act on them differently, and acting on them differently is going to lead to different results, okay? Your Instagram stories are your daily sales reps. Most beginners, like I said, they post gym selfies, document their day, what time they woke up, slept, all that boring stuff that no one wants to see. But if you want $10,000 plus sales with a small audience, you need direct attention. You need to direct attention to an offer every single day. So I like to structure every story like a mini sales page. I call out the pain point. So For example, if you're struggling with posting content daily, if you're posting content daily, but no one's buying, this is why. Proof. My client, Shay, went from 3K a month to 10K a month using this exact method. Make it actionable. Tell them what to do next. So this is where you want to include your call to action. If you want this mapped out for your offer, reply with map and I'll send you the exact breakdown. Okay. A few pro tips is you can also use polls, right? Polls are very, 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 very powerful and heavily underused because people are lazy. You can just put different polls with different pain points. If I had to take any random coach that was stuck at 11, 10K a month right now and boost them up to 50, I would literally just implement 2 poll stories a week. And that one thing would just help them break past that goal. I'd go, what's your biggest challenge? Is it diet, transformation, health, nutrition, sleep, etc., etc. Once you know exactly what that is, you can then tease your transformation. So my client, John, was struggling with diet, nutrition, health, poor sleep, and all of the above. We didn't do what the average fitness coach does. We did this X unique method, and here's the outcome and the result. By the way, if you want results like this, reply with X, and I'll help you with the exact system. And that is going to funnel and segue people perfectly into your DMs. Okay. So your content, your stories, your VSLs should all lead somewhere. And the most powerful place that they can lead is your DMs, because that's where $10,000 sales actually happen. And the reason why is because you get to handle their objections. You get to handle their inner thoughts. You get to nurture them on a more personal level. And DMs are a very controllable process, which is what makes them so scalable. If you see the biggest people in the space right now, the number one thing that they all have is appointment sets or DM workflows that close clients because it's controllable. That's why a lot of the time you want to use daily CTAs in your stories that funnel people into the DMs, or even use many chat flows on the bottom of your content. So when you position your content in the way that I've just taught you to do so, it's easy to get people that are raising their hand and asking you for help. And the actual goal of your DMs overall, right, is to turn warm viewers into qualified conversations, into book calls, and then finally high ticket sales. It's really that simple, right? So here's an example of a DM conversation that leads to a book call, bunch of sales coming in through Zoom calls. And this is exactly why my clients don't spend a crap load of money on ads. They don't have to go out there and post daily. They don't have to have tens of thousands of followers. What they do is they build belief, they sell the transformation, and they use the exact infrastructure that I just shared with you. And that's why my clients have crazy wins, right? 10.2K just after a month of working with me, close a 5K deal. This was literally last night at 3 a.m. 3K in 3 weeks, 4K in 1 week, 15.5K in 24 hours, and $4,000 in a week and 1,200 days, right? And these are like genuinely some of the smaller results I have. Again, my Instagram has a bunch of these that you can check out. But if you've enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button. And if you need help growing your business, scaling it, and you want me to personally audit your business, yes, it will be me. It won't be a sales closer until I become very rich and famous on YouTube. But right now we're 10K subs, which is fine. Okay. Essentially, go ahead and book in a call below, and I look forward to speaking with you about your business.